Hello, everybody, and welcome back. In this part, I'd like to talk to you about the wheel of life, the human needs, and our values. And so, those are the things that you're going to be questioning yourself at some point. And we rather do this in the beginning so you're set up for success in the long run. And the wheel of life is an interesting thing. And I keep doing the wheel of life probably once a year, sometimes even more than that. And if you're gonna be, you'll find the wheel somewhere below attached here. And I just want to talk about it really briefly because there are a lot of explanations on the web. You can find that, but there are about 8 areas of your life. So like your health, your finances, your career, your growth, your contribution, no, your growth, for example, spiritual growth, your career, your relationships, and all of that stuff, and love. And when it comes to the wheel of life, it's a right now a picture of what is going on in your life right now. You can do the wheel of life every day and you might gonna feel different about it. But if you do this couple of times, which I did, I find myself being in similar situations. And when that happened, even though I had exponential growth, I looked at the wheel of life from a different perspective. And this is something that I want to share with you today. So take the wheel of life, take the chart, and right now, just fill in the circle. Where do you feel? For example, let's take health. Between 0 and 10, how do you feel right now? Is it a 5? Is it a 6? Is it a 7? Is it a 10? Or is it a 0? I hope it's not a 0, but you get the point. So put yourself, how do you feel right now? For example, I give you a 7. This is how I feel about my health right now. I feel like a 7. I have a lot of energy. I can do any exercises. My body moves really good. I'm in physical great shape. But I do know that I maybe want to release a little bit of weight. I do know that my weight is more than it's used to be. And so I don't feel really comfortable all the time. I do love how I look, but I know I can, my weight can be less, let's say it that way. And so I give myself a 7. Sometimes maybe I have some pain, maybe some headaches, some maybe joints. So that's why it's on a 7. It's not at a 10. But in generally, I have a great energy and I feel great about myself. So this is how I give myself right now in 7. So from this, you can take that. For me to feel a 10, I would need to release the certain amount of weight for me to tell great, to feel even better than that, to feel like a 10. And I need to do something about maybe the pains that I have in my body. And pains in your body is a physical expression of something which is stuck emotionally in your body. And so, yes, we all age, but we also eat foods that are not healthy for us. And for me, when I get, for example, pains in the joints, then I know I have eaten last day something that was not good for me. And when I look back, yes, it was exactly the case, because I'm a human being, and I do sometimes things that I just enjoy because it tastes good. So this is an example how you fill out the wheel of life. But one interesting thing that I want you to pay close attention to is, how is it going to be for finances? How is it going to be for your career? So for finances, for example, for you to feel a 10 in your finances, how much money do you have to earn in a month or in a year to feel like a 10? And I want you to decide it right now, because whenever you get to that amount, it's going to grow. And so you might going to find yourself in the same situation as I did, that even though I had some growth, the number was the same. And so for now, I want you to really say to yourself, what do I need to, what do I want to earn in a year? Let's say it's 100,000 US dollars or euros in a year that I want to earn for me to feel like a 10 at this moment. Because when you get to see your wheel of life next year, and to do this again, then you can measure it. I want you to be able to measure your achievement and your successes. And you say, okay, I moved from 60, I'm just giving you examples, from 60,000 to 100,000. And so, yes, at this moment now I'm making 100,000 and I feel like a 10. So this is measurable. But when you get to the 100,000, you're going to have a different goal. You're probably going to be now saying to yourself, well, maybe I want to earn now 150,000. And so you drop again the number. This is what I want you to pay attention to, because whenever you grow, you always want a little bit more, a little bit more. It's natural. We are human beings. But to measure the success, you need to decide today, what does it mean for you to be a 10? We have to have a direction. And it's still easy with finances. Let's go to the career path. To the career path, you can say, well, right now I'm in a job which is not fulfilling. I'm spending a lot of time of my work. Maybe I'm traveling to work a lot, and I'm in traffic, or it just takes me an hour to get there, and I want to have something which is closer to my door. I want to have something that is more fulfilling, more meaningful, that I enjoy my time there. So those could be the things that you want to work on in your career sector. And for example, if you don't have those, then you might gonna say, well, career right now for me is a 6 because I'm not fulfilled. I get paid, but not the money that I really want or deserve. And I don't enjoy being there. I don't maybe have the great relationship with my colleagues. So those factors can affect how you scale yourself. And it may be the case that you're right now in the progress to finding out that you don't want to continue that job that you've been doing or that work that you've been doing before, and you're switching to something that you say, I want to find my passion. I want to find something that I'm really good at, that I feel great about myself, that I love spending time with, that I can help other people in some way. And this is your goal. So this is what you're moving towards. And when you get there, there's going to be a 10 whenever you get there, right? So set for yourself, and just an example for you, set for yourself, where are you right now? And what is going to be a 10 for you? Now let's get to relationships. Where did you find yourself in your relationships? I'll give you an honest answer. When I started this journey, my relationships were a 3 to 5. They've been always up and down between 3 and 5. And this was the turning point for me when I said, well, everything else is working out. My finances, my job, my work, everything else, my lifestyle. How come my relationships don't work out? And this is where my relationship journey started. But I didn't want to look at relationships. This is how much pain they caused me in the past. And so I just said, I'm just going to put a number there because I have to, and I'll move on. And this is what I've done. And I've done the same for love. And it was kind of pretty much the same. Times forward, maybe a year or two, I find myself, again, so much growth. Everywhere is everything growing apart from my love and relationships. It's like, how is it possible? How is that possible? And this is something that I want you to do differently. This is something that I actually first heard at the Tony Robbins event, Unleash the Power Within. I still have this. It was in Sydney, Australia, and now I'm in Ibiza. I still have that. And so I said to myself, how can it be that I'm doing so much, but this is not changing? And what I discovered was that I did not put into intention there. What does it take for me to feel a 10 in this area? And so sometimes when we avoid certain things, like when you look at your wheel of life right now, the area which is the smallest, something under 5, is the area that you should work on. But this probably is also the area that you do not want to work on, because it is easier to do the other stuff. And it's painful to look into these criteria. And that's why we are here. And so for you, the message that I want you to bring today, wherever you are in your relationship at this moment, I want you to decide, what is it gonna take for you to feel like a 10 in those relationships? And they could look differently. So for example, they can look like you have friends you can call on when you need some help. You have supportive friends. You have a certain amount of friends. Your friends are working in a certain occupations. Maybe they are business owners. Maybe they have a certain lifestyle. Whatever that is for you, it can be really different for everybody. For me, it was important that I have real friends, because before that, I struggled with people that are there for me when the sun is shining. But when I needed help, that was a completely different topic. And so for me, was it important to recognize, what are the real friends? Who can I call on that are there for me when I need somebody? Not just when we go to the beach, not just when we go to party, not just we go to some events. I really wanted to find connection between two people and maintain this. And because of my upbringing, which is going to be topic later on, I wasn't able to meet these people, but I knew that was a time for me to make that shift, to let go of the other friends and to start attracting new ones. People that are now onto this journey with personal development, spiritual development, and with this growth, that know that they're going the certain path in life. And that understand that if we even have friendships for 20, 30 years from school on, it doesn't mean the same as it meant 10, 20 years ago. Back then, it meant like you can keep your relationships going. Today, it means that most of the time, you're stuck in the past. There was no growth. Because 95% of people are stuck in the old patterns. And so when you surround yourself by those old patterns, then you're not going to be able to grow. And for me, that was a time when I decided at the UPW that I said, I'm going to quit on all of my friends. Don't switch off the video. I'm not saying to you, you have to quit on all of your friends. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you have to make a decision. What does it mean to you to have a 10 in your relationships? What type of relationships do you need to have? And when you go on this journey of building a business, of restructuring your life, of completely changing your life, you will go through this chapter, like every one of us, when you say goodbye to your old friendships, because you know that you have outgrown them. And now you have to put a list of what qualities do your new friends have? Who do you want to be friends with? And my suggestion is, once you get to understand what are your qualities, what are you good at, what are your interests, what are your natural abilities, that you start to look for friends in these circles. So decide now, what does it mean to you, for you to have a 10 in your relationships? With your friends, with your parents, with your colleagues, with your maybe employees, with your partner is going to be one of them, but we're going to go to the love part. So yeah, let's do the one here with your partner and the relationship with yourself. Because the relationship with yourself is the most important relationship you will have in your life. And this is the longest one you will have in your life. So let's put that on the paper. And I'm looking forward to see what you put on there, because I'm really interested in that. And now let's move on to love. For me, I put a free on the love factor. I was single. I was on and off in relationships. After many that were long term, I had a couple of short ones, and I understood this is not the relationship that I want. I had raised my standards, and now it was time to attract the right guy. And while I was going on my journey, the guy came, but they were not the ones where I had. This is the goal. This is the goal where I want to go, because I was starting my journey and I knew, yes, am I gonna be meeting somebody right now who has the same goal to go to the same journey? But I was in a different country. I had my mind completely on different topics. So I was like, I have time. I want to focus on myself at this moment. And then when I go closer, then I'll be ready to go for this person. And so this is where I want you to know that love is not only the love that you receive from your partner. And because that was a false belief in my head, I kept on doing the wheel of life and had a free on that, because I was going on this journey without the love, without the partner. But when I look back, there was so much love around me. The love that I could not see, the love that I did not qualify as love. So this is why I'm taking now this time to go through this for you to really tap into that and to say to yourself, what does it mean for you to have a 10 in love? I was going on a journey without having friends and a partner. I had an abusive partner, emotionally, spiritually abusive partner. But let's say that I felt like I did not have the people, the friends, the love that I wanted. And so it was always so free for me. But looking backwards, the universe was supporting me every step of the way. And when you know there are higher powers, there are the God, source, infinite intelligence that is guiding you, like an alchemist, it's guiding you. You have chosen this journey and you will get there. You will be guided. It's crazy how it works. It's crazy to explain to somebody who never went on this journey. But when you have this faith and you believe that this is where you want to go, doors will open for you and you will be guided. When I speak that, the sun is coming out. It's so interesting. And so I never understood. I never really went back and said to myself, I had so much love around me. The people that I met, I've been traveling through Asia. So I started with Australia. Then I lived in Thailand. I lived in Bali. And the people that I met everywhere, they were giving me the love. They were giving me the love. But in my head, it was like, love for me means that I need to receive love from my partner. Point. How happy will I be? I won't. Because I'm putting the love into his hands. Means that if I don't have a partner, I don't have love. And once I understood that that was the twist in my head, everything shifted. Because my partner is not responsible for how loved I feel inside. And so the next step is, do you feel that you have the love for yourself? Because only when you love yourself, you can attract a partner who's gonna love you equally, and he's gonna love himself too. And so we're already going into the next topic. But to bring it to the whole is that They are love that you receive from people on whenever you go. If it's the store you're buying food, if it's the house that you live in, is it the accommodation, is it wherever you travel, is it your family members, is it the yoga classes you visit, the exercises, the meditations. I was meditating every day for at least 1 hour. And so there's love all around you. Love is an abundant thing. You just need to tune into the vibration to receive it. And wherever I go now, it's like I meet people that give me love. Now I even have a dog that gives me love. And so the biggest step was learning to perceive love differently and learning to love myself. And we're going to be talking about that and further in the other modules. And so you get the picture now. What is love? And so moving from the wheel of life, let's move into the human needs. There are 6 human needs, and everybody needs something. We all have all of them, but we prioritize the one on the other differently. So let's go to, what are they? It's certainty, it's uncertainty, it's significance, it's love and contribution, it's growth. Sorry, it's love and connection. Love and connection, it's growth, and it's contribution. So what do you think right now? I'm going to list them below as well. What do you think right now? What are your highest needs? Certainty, that you know things are always running in a certain way. They are predictable. So you can plan on, you can rely on, this is always how it's going to be. So you feel like comfortable because you have a control about the situation. Or uncertainty. Variety. Some people like variety. For example, I like both. I like variety. I like to travel. I like to explore things. I like to change my hair color lately. I like to live in different countries. So there is a variety also that you like. For you might be the clothes that you're wearing, the food that you are eating, the events that you are joining, the books that you are reading, the music that you are listening, the podcast, whatever it is variety, because we all need all of them. But let's find out what is your number one, number two, like one and number two. So certainty and uncertainty, write it down for yourself. Then the next one is significance. Significance is something that I can talk about, oh my God, so much at the moment. And we're going to be talking about significance, because significance was for me, with certainty, the 2 that I was going for. I want to be significant. Yes. I want people to know my message. I want to feel important. That is significance. This is 100% significance. And 2 years later, I'm proud of myself to know that significance is driven by false beliefs about ourselves and unfound fears, deep-rooted fears. But let's move on. Love and connection. If you're in my course, love and connection is probably going to be your number one. Even if you don't feel it right now, we will be moving towards that, because this is where I found myself being today. And it was a test that I was doing. I even didn't know it was one of those tests. But when I found it, I was like, I got there without realizing. And it was a beautiful thing to know. So what is your human need? Significance, love and connection, connect to the other person. Then we have growth. Growth is, how much do you want to learn? How much do you want to evolve? How much are you ready to change and to adapt? Technology is changing all the time. You can't barely keep up with all the technology, right? This is growth. How much growth do you want to have in your life? And how much contribution are you willing to give, to put out there? Contribution is what do you help other people with? What will the world remember you for? Are you going to leave a legacy here? Are you going to do something with all of the knowledge that you're receiving right now? Are you going to help somebody else with all of that to contribute to their lifestyle, to their happiness, to their fulfillment, to their relationships, to their love life? Possibly. This is contribution. So decide now, what is your basic human need? What is driving you at the moment? Certainty, uncertainty, significance, love and contribution, growth, love and connection keeps popping up, I'm sorry. Love and connection, growth and contribution. They're going to be changing over time. And it's a good thing. But when I go back to significance, significance is when a person is running for being significant, being important to other people because they're not feeling enough inside. Nobody taught me that, but the journey itself made it clear. And many of people a little bit older my age are all about significance, because back then we were striving for significance. Back then we wanted to be important. Look how many leaders we had, good ones or bad ones. They were significant. But now we are entering a new era, a literally new era. And this new era is about love. And so wherever you are right now, make a circle for yourself. So whenever you evolve, you can see what you have achieved, how much you have changed. And if you are driven by other human needs, then there's something that we can look into and see what is driving it, where is it coming from? Because we can make the change and the shift when we know what is driving that. But we need all of them. And the last topic I want to talk to you about today is values. Now take a piece of paper, and I want you to write something down. Ready? Put me on pause if you have to. Now I want you to write down 3 values. I'm going to be writing with you. 3 values that you want to see in your partner. Write it down. 1, 2, 3. Fast, not thinking, just whatever comes to your head straight away. 3 values that you want to see in your partner, most important in your partner. Now, 3 values that are most important in your children. Write it down, whatever comes to your head. There might be repeating. It's okay. Just write it down. Now, 3 values that would be important to have in your pet. Write them down. And the next 3 values that are important in your boss. So what values should your boss have? What are they? And so now you've got different values on your piece of paper. I want you to cross out 3 of them. Put me on pause if you need to, but don't take too much time. Just cross out whatever is least important to you. Got it? Now I want you to cross out never free. I know it's challenging, but you can do this. And now I want you to cross out never free. And so whatever you've got now on your paper are the values that are most important to you right now. And values is something that we should not ignore, because every one of us has different values, and values change with time. But when we connect with another human being that also has values, for us to connect, best to connect, is to share the same values. And so it's for one person, the highest value is love. And for example, for another person is the highest value money, financial freedom. Then the one person is going to be doing everything to get money, to make money, to receive money, to whatever do. It's going to be all about money. And they're not going to be bothered to think about love. Do you get that picture? So next time you catch up with your friends, you go on a date, you talk to somebody else, make that with them and find out what are their values, and see if the values do not align, how your conversation is gonna go long term. Because you might gonna struggle, because things are of different importance. And when you choose a partner, remember that when your values align, then you're gonna be having a fulfilling relationship, because then you're gonna be talking the same language. Values change with time, but usually they evolve. So when you get to love, that's the highest one you can have. And when your partner has love as the highest one, and he is able to love, to give love, to receive love, and he loves himself, then that's going to be a great fit for you too. All right. I'm looking forward to your insights in the group or in the chat. Post them, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.